Hi everyone, this is Cooking with Kurt. Today, my husband Donald and I are going to show you how to make Ube Hopia. This is a Filipino pastry with a sweet ube filling inside a soft and flaky crust.
Hopia is similar to the Chinese mooncake, which is enjoyed during the Mid-Autumn Festival, but hopia is a smaller, flakier Filipino adaptation that is enjoyed and eaten throughout the year. To start, we're going to prep the ube filling. Take a small mixing bowl or measuring cup. Add in 1.5 cups, which is about 1 12-ounce jar of ube halaya, and half a teaspoon of ube extract. Mix these together till very well combined. On a parchment paper-lined sheet pan, divide the ube into 16 equally sized portions. Each portion should be about 1 heaping tablespoon of ube halaya each.
Let these rest in the fridge till you're ready to assemble your hopia. The dough for hopia is a laminated dough, similar to the doughs we've made for empanada de Callisquis and croissant, which means they're alternating layers of dough and cold butter.
First, we're going to make the base dough, which we're calling dough 1. Take a small mixing bowl, add in half a cup of water, and 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar. Mix these together till the sugar is fully dissolved. Then, in a large mixing bowl, add in 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of shortening, and the sugar-water mixture. Use your hands to gently mix these ingredients together just till it comes together into a crumbly dough and compress so the dough holds together in one piece. Shape the dough into a disc and wrap in plastic wrap. Rest this base dough, or dough 1, in the fridge for a minimum of 1 hour. Next, we're going to make the butter dough, or what we're calling dough 2. In the bowl of your food processor, add in 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/3 cup of granulated sugar, and half a teaspoon of salt. Pulse to mix these dry ingredients, then add in half a cup, which is 1 stick, of very cold unsalted butter that's been cut up into 1-inch cubes, and 1/4 cup of shortening. Pulse the food processor till the pieces of butter are the size of small peas and the mixture looks like coarse meal. Add in 3 tablespoons of ice-cold water and continue pulsing until the mixture just comes together. Transfer this mixture into a large mixing bowl and compress the dough so that the dough holds together in one piece. Shape the dough into a disc and wrap in plastic wrap. Rest this butter dough, or dough 2, in the fridge for a minimum of 1 hour.
If you have a digital thermometer, the butter and dough should ideally be between 55 and 60 degrees Fahrenheit when doing these next lamination steps. When the 2 dough components have cooled down to between 55 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit, generously dust a clean surface with flour and roll out dough 1, which is the base dough, into an approximate rectangle shape that's 10 inches by 16 inches, making sure the bottom is not sticking to the counter surface. Take dough 2, which is the butter dough, and crumble pieces of dough 2 over dough 1, so that it covers most of the rolled out rectangle of dough 1. Put plastic wrap over all of this, and roll out the dough 2 crumbles to flatten and smoothen them onto the dough 1 rectangle. Do your best to make a perfect 10-inch by 16-inch rectangle with straight edges and 90-degree corners. It's okay if dough 2 doesn't completely cover dough 1, and there are patches of uncovered areas even after rolling. Fold both of the 10-inch edges towards the center so that they meet at the center. Pat these down so the layers stick together. Try to make everything neat and make the edges line up as much as possible. Use a pastry brush to brush off any excess flour from the top surface, as excess flour will prevent the layers from sticking together. Then fold the resulting 8-inch edge towards the other 8-inch edge. Pat down the folds a bit to compress the layers together. Transfer to a parchment paper lined sheet pan and cover it tightly with plastic wrap. Let it rest in the fridge for 1 to 2 hours to let it return to the ideal 55 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit range. When it's within that ideal temperature range, do another set of folds. Rolling out the longer edge to 16 inches long, roll it out into a 10-inch by 16-inch rectangle again, using the same technique as before. Use a pastry brush to brush off any excess flour on the top surface. Fold both of the 10-inch edges towards the center so that they meet in the center, and pat these down so the layers stick together. Brush off any excess flour from the top surface of this fold, then fold the resulting 8-inch edge towards the other 8-inch edge. Gently pat and press the dough a bit to compress the layers together and make sure all the edges are neat and aligned. Transfer the dough back to the parchment paper lined sheet pan and wrap it tightly in plastic wrap. We're going to leave it in the fridge for another 1 to 2 hours to let it return to the 55 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit range. When the dough is laminated, the next step is to form the hopia. Take a 13 by 18 inch sheet pan and line it with parchment paper. When the laminated dough is between 55 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit, roll it out into a rectangle that's 10 inches by 16 inches. Try to keep the edges as straight as possible and the dough as evenly thick as possible throughout. Measure and make marks that are 1 inch apart along the 16-inch sides, and cut the rectangle into a total of 16 strips that are approximately 1 inch wide and 10 inches long. Roll each strip to form small cylindrical logs that are 1 inch tall. Place the short cylinders of dough on the small parchment paper lined sheet pan from before. Keep these coils of dough in the fridge to keep the butter cool and return to the 55 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit range. Clean up any excess flour from your counter surface, as any extra stray flour will prevent the dough from sticking to itself. Lightly grease your counter and rolling pin to prevent the dough from sticking to them during this final rolling process. From this point on, we're using oil rather than flour to prevent the dough from sticking to the counter or the rolling pin. Taking one of the circular pieces of dough at a time, use a thermometer to make sure the butter is between 55 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit before this final rolling step. Place it so that the layers are facing up, and flatten it with your hands a bit and shape it into a circle. Then using the rolling pin, flatten the dough further into a circular shape, about 4 inches in diameter. Add 1 portion of ube filling, previously divided earlier, in the center of the circle. Use a bench scraper as needed to help unstick the dough from the counter. Fold the dough disc together by bringing the opposite sides of the circle together, and then pinching the closed circle together tightly to ensure the hopia is sealed. Shape it with your hands as necessary to create a more even circular shape. Place the assembled hopia seam side down onto the prepared parchment paper lined 13-inch by 18-inch sheet pan, and place the formed hopias in the fridge to keep the butter layers cool. Do the same steps with the remaining 15 pieces of dough to make 15 more hopias, 1 piece of dough at a time to make sure the butter stays cool. Lightly grease your counter and rolling pin between each hopia as needed. Place the formed hopias in the fridge each time to keep the butter layers cool.
When all the hopias are formed and resting in the fridge, take an oven rack and place it in the middle position of your oven and preheat it to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Take a small bowl, add 1 egg, and beat it to make an egg wash. Right before baking, brush the top surface of each hopia, which should be seam side down, with egg wash. We're going to bake these in our preheated oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for 25 to 28 minutes, or till the top surfaces are golden brown. Let them sit on the sheet pan for 5 minutes to cool slightly, then transfer to a wire rack to cool further.
And there it is, Ube Hopia. Sweet ube filling inside a soft and flaky crust. Ang
Ang
sarap.
sarap.
Mmm,
Yum.
so good. I love how flaky and buttery the crust is.
And the sweetness of the ube filling inside creates a perfect balance of flavors and textures.
Thank you so much for watching. Please let us know in the comment section below if you're planning to make this Ube Hopia. Send us pictures of your creations on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Links below. And if you like this recipe, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Cooking with Kurt.
And don't forget to click on the bell so you get notified when we post new cooking videos. And for our written recipes and more, be sure to check out cookingwithkurt.com. Maraming salamat!